When a buy-side analyst tells you to sell, is he as good at his sell ratings as he is at his buy ratings? And could he be telling you to sell because he or his company would actually like to buy in at a lower value? Now, this video is not meant to imply that any analyst would ever do that, but let's just take a look at some data. So I'm going into the daily recommendations tab on TipRanks and just scrolling down, what's come in today. Everybody's buy or hold until you get down to Daniel Oppenheim with Credit Suisse and Scott Mushkin with Wolfe Research. They've got a couple of sells. One is on Whole Foods and this one is on NVR. So let's take, they're both pretty good analysts. They're both 4-star analysts. So should I immediately sell NVR because this guy's a 4-star analyst? Well, let's take a look at him. His performance, 1 year with no benchmark, he's up overall 11% and gets things right 6 times out of 10. But how's he done with NVR, the stock that we're potentially looking at shorting or dumping? He's had 3 NVR recommendations. He said to hold it back here in April of 2011, and the stock just beat upwards. Then he said to sell it here, and that was good, right? And then he said to sell it here, but the stock continued to move up. So he was wrong on this call, and now he's saying to sell it again. On NVR, he's been wrong all the time. You should have been adding down here, not holding. And he's down 29%. But let's look at him on a 3-month period. And he's down 10% on his, if you were to action his ratings, then within 90 days, you'd be down 11% if NVR was the stock that you had moved with together with Daniel's recommendations. So overall, he's 5.1%, but not with NVR. He's down 11%. And when you benchmark him against the sector, he's doing better. He's down only 1% against his sector. Let's look at some of his other current sells. MAC. He's been up 1% for MAC again. We're looking at 90 days against his sector. And then let's take a look at his other sell rating. This builder, HOV, and it's just too far back to say anything. But he did tell you to sell it back here, right? Back in 2011. You'd be kicking yourself now because you'd be up 16% against the sector. How would you be up overall on the stock over a year with no benchmark with HOV? You'd be up 0.4%. Let's take a look at that other analyst. The daily recommendations. Let's take a look at 4-star Scott Mushkin. Let's look at his expert profile. He's 18%, 67% success rate. But let's just jump down to 3-month against the sector. And he is a food guy. It's all food companies or food retail companies, with the exception of Southern, which I think it's a copper company. But he hasn't rated them in 5 years, so let's not worry about that. He's saying to sell Whole Foods right now. How well has he done with his Whole Foods ratings? Not bad, 18%. He's been right 4 times out of 5. Here's a guy, and here's a company, and a guy combined, and you can take that to the bank. He's been real good if you actioned with him and you held for 90 days. So that's how you drill down. And don't jump to conclusions when you see a stock analyst telling you to sell your position.